Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. I wanna taste your content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out.
Hello, everybody. This is Mickey Mao with Cartoon Money Printers. It is Friday, December 6th, 2024. Today, we are going to be doing an episode on prepping for the webinar. So, we're going to kind of give you some allusions to what's going to be unfolding here in crypto Cartoon Money Printers, as well as kind of like Astronaut Toad's blueprint. So, if you go to www.cartoonmoneyprinters.com, you can get access to our suite of indicators, some of which have been made by Astronaut Toad. And we are also having a deal. If you sign up now with the yearly subscription, I will send you a Cartoon Money Printers coffee mug, the 15-ounce one, the big boy. And I'll add 90 days. I'll add 90 days to your yearly account, so you get 90 free days. That's 455 days in total that you get for about 59 cents a day. So it's a really awesome deal. We're probably going to be running that till the end of the year, December 31st. I'm trying to run these deals until the end of the year. I know I missed Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but this is what we're working with right now, so bear with us. Let's see what else. What else on the housekeeping? I think that's pretty much it now. So come join us. Let us know. Right now, if you sign up with the monthly subscription, you get a 30-day free trial. And if you pay with crypto, you'll have to pay full price. But I'll give you 30 days added to your account for free, just to honor that on the crypto end. If you're joining the room now, please mute your microphone. We're going to do it here instead of the theater. So if you're hot micing, I will tell you to mute yourself. Thank you very much. I am joined today by Astronaut Toad. Why don't you go ahead and say something?
Good evening, everybody. This is Astronaut Toad. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Without further ado, why don't you go ahead and take it away, my guy? If you have any
Yeah,
questions, anybody,
happy.
please type it in chat. We'll get to them when we get to them.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the chat for questions. I want to know what you want to know because we are building a complete, or I am building, and I'm using the help of the team here, Mickey and Kermit and everybody. We have some really good traders on the team, but I'm building a complete top to bottom workflow trading course, and it's going to be free for all of the Discord members to tune in live and watch all of the recordings live. So 100% of the education is going to be available to Discord members, and it will be available on replay. So you don't have to actually tune in live. You can watch it the next day or whatever. I know that the time zones are crazy, and I'll probably be streaming twice a week to get this all done. But yeah. And yeah, it's going to be something completely different from what everybody else out there is trying to do with workshops, sales, and courses and all that stuff, where you hear some YouTube guru claim, show you claims of making tons and tons of thousands of dollars to get you to try and buy their course. And when you do join their community, you realize that famous YouTuber is never there. They have, a few random moderators who just show up and moderate the Discord, and all of your hopes and dreams are dependent on you watching their workshop videos, and does the strategy even work or not? And I can tell you, sometimes, most of the time, the strategy they're selling doesn't even work. It's already, if it ever did have an edge, it already got played out. And so, I've seen, so they're asking me to name names in the chat. Honestly,
Yeah.
I could name names of the people who aren't this. Like, we know, basically by default, just assume that every YouTuber is this type of person, except like one or two out there that I think are probably legit, but I don't even have proof. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody especially in the crypto space, very few people share their receipts on what they actually make, let alone, like, if you asked them to share their like income statement or their tax report on like how much money they make from actually trading versus how much money they make from education, I guarantee you, even the ones like, oh, my strategy's profitable, see, here's the proof, they're probably making double or triple selling students their workshop course.
At this point,
because that's so easy to do.
The education is probably funneling their gambling addiction.
Yeah, the biggest name, I'll name one name: ICT himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Michael
that too.
Huddleston.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, I applaud that guy for creating what he did. He was a genius in being able to create a language. We've gone over ICT as a strategy in our Discord, and I've gone top to bottom and talked about the whole thing. But he himself admitted that he made millions of dollars more than he ever made trading. He made millions of dollars and got filthy rich just by teaching. So from the very start, I got a chart here. Actually, I was looking at the Discord chat, but I have a chart. I was going on Bitcoin top down. Let's see what's going on right now.
Press 1 for English.
There's that nasty crash. Hey, looks like we're back up above 100. Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Cool.
psychologically here for a bit, I think.
Ooh.
This is
Well,
the
I'm just glad we recovered above 98K because when that dropped, price needs to recover above the level that is nasty death.
Mhm.
That's always the psychological level. And for
Yeah.
me, it was like right around 98K.
What that price action
So I'm
tells me
glad
is
we're
that
above that.
some whales sold, and then people gobbled up the price right after.
Yeah. It's just the big whales testing the waters of, do we go down and buy more or do we hold this level?
Yep.
Anyways, we're going to completely flip the script and do things totally differently here. And that is, I am never going to brag about making $1 zillion and then hang you out to dry by disappearing, and all you have is my workshop to watch. What I am interested in doing is, I'm not even interested in promising, hey, here's one strategy, you have to do it exactly this way, and then you might be profitable. I am more interested in teaching people how to build their own strategy so that they can evolve with the market and always find a way to be profitable in a way that works for them and is adaptable when inevitably the market changes its nature of price action or whatever the trend. So we're going to go in the complete opposite order. We're going to start by talking about not just like trading 101, but the simple basic stuff on, I think everybody is thinking about leverage wrong, and things like how to enter a trade and how to set your stop loss and how to set your target. There's tons and tons of free educational content out there already. And so what I'm going to do in terms of teaching people trading 101 is I'm going to go straight to the stuff that is widely wrong with the free education that's already out there. Because otherwise you could just go on YouTube and learn it all for free anyways. I'm not going to sell anybody anything that is widely available. There's 100 YouTube videos for free. It would be ridiculous to charge money for that. But there are a few things about trading, super basic stuff, that I think everybody gets wrong. Like thinking about leverage and thinking about a prop firm. Like people now, you can buy a prop firm account for get access to $100,000 or $300,000 or whatever. And you can get access to that for like $100 or so. It's crazy. So people think, oh, I've got access to $100,000. But of course, in the fine print of that prop firm agreement, it says, your trailing drawdown is $2,000. So you didn't pay to access $100,000 worth of trading capital. You paid for $2,000 worth of risk. And that's it. So I'm going to go over a lot of stuff like that. And you'll hear me say exactly that type of stuff all the time, whenever we're chatting in the Discord and whatnot. So that's the basics. That's the trading 101 stuff. It's very simple. There's a lot of free education already out there. So we're going to get that stuff over with really quick. The main thing that I think is highly valuable and that we are going to package when it's all done, we're going to package it into a course that the general public can buy if they don't want to be a Discord member. I can't imagine why you wouldn't just join the Discord, because if you join the Discord, you'll be able to watch the content live or afterwards until it's a packaged product. But for those who just come along a year from now, if you're listening to my voice sometime in 2025 later and you want to learn trading 101, the key thing that I think people should focus on is eliminating bad habits from your basic trading everyday activity. And that's where there's a lot of bad information out there, a lot of terrible advice out there, and even from the popular gurus telling you, you know, here's how to do risk management, or here's how to do this or that. And I think there's a lot of terrible advice out there. But what I want to help people do is begin to approach trading from a totally different perspective of not promising, hey, I promise you you're going to be profitable, because obviously we can't do that for legal reasons. But I'm not even going to do that because I'm on the journey to be financially independent as well. And so I don't have a Lamborghini, obviously.
And just to be clear, nobody, if you're an actual trader, nobody should have a Lamborghini, because like one of the things that I think you and I discussed before the show is part of the discipline of being a trader is fiscal responsibility. And so a lot of people that come into money tend to blow it on excess and exuberance, and that is
Yeah,
the number one reason why people that win the lottery end up screwing themselves.
yeah,
And you
exactly.
hear these
That's one of the
nightmare horror
chapters.
stories about it.
Yeah, that's going to be part of the main thing that I want to teach everybody is you have to treat trading as if it is a gambling addiction. And you have to approach it from the standpoint of, I either have to quit this addiction, or I have to turn it into a form of entertainment or a hobby that is fun. Otherwise, I will destroy my life.
Or a discipline, like martial arts.
Building self-discipline is key to life in general, whether it's martial arts or trading or war. We've had this discussion a lot about how a military level of discipline and strategy is crucial for life in times of peace as well. Like, you have to have discipline in life in general. So that's what I want to teach everyone. And we're going to go over this all the time for free in the Discord. You'll hear me say these types of things all the time. I want to help everybody create good habits and eliminate bad habits. And we're going to do that by things like every month, every week, we should be reviewing our worst mistake, putting it on a Post-it note, and not making that mistake again the next month, you know? And we should be reviewing our strategy every week and saying, okay, am I following the rules of this strategy? Am I logging the trades that I take and noticing any mistakes, or am I keeping track of when I am winning, if I'm breaking the rules or following the rules? Because that is where you get to the final point of, are you actually profitable or not? And can you prove it to yourself? Because once you can prove it to yourself, everything else falls into place. You don't struggle to follow the rules of the strategy if you know the strategy works. You can trust the system and take trades with confidence.
I want to interject a little
If you have the
too.
backing of your homework, if you've done your homework to know that this system actually works.
I want to interject.
And that's one of the biggest.
Sorry, I want to interject something here too. There is a tool like this. The whole mission statement of this business that me and these guys have started is to build and foster a community that are able to achieve this. So we can build together. So our goal is to get everybody profitable and to hopefully get everybody to where they can help other people as well, and to foster that community. But we have a tool here with Investly. nvst.ly. It's the bot that's in the prospect trade setup and the member trade setups. In that, there's a tool that I provided for you guys where you can actually track your trades, your win-loss ratio, very easily. So I already have it in the Discord, a system in place so people can actually do that without actually having to pencil it down or go to a third party, um, trade tracker or some other tool out there. So in house, we've got the tools that can help you look back at your prior trades and everything. And if you have any questions about that, please reach out to me. But this is exactly what Astronaut Toad is talking about. Please continue.
Yeah, this is what we're going to be going over all the time, and I'm going to package it up as a final product so that if you want that final product, you can have it all neat and tidy in one place for your reference, to be able to quickly reference the various bits of information. But my whole goal is to make that information freely available to the members of the community anytime they want it. So I'll be live streaming every week or multiple times a week, and I want everybody to always ask questions and get in the habit of each week we should all be taking a moment to nail down exactly one thing that we either don't understand or we made a mistake and we need input on, like, here's my trade, tell me why, or is it valid? Is it a valid setup? Or why did it go wrong? I think I broke my rules, but I won. Or, should I, looking at this, should I change my rules, or should I just call this a mistake that, that turned out all right? There's subtle nuances like that stuff right there that require actively interacting with the community. And that's where you won't get that anywhere else. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I like this gang, this team, is that's what we're interested in doing, is helping everybody achieve the little details of getting it right from the ground up, eliminating bad habits on a regular basis, building good habits, and knowing here is how I create the strategy that works for me. And then having the tools to refine that by going to the group and saying, hey, what do you think of this idea? And having your friends or your team members poke holes in it and say, yeah, that'll probably work in a trending market, but you need to take a vacation if the market gets nasty and choppy. Or, hey, that'll really work in a bull market, but if it's bear market, you're going to have to tweak the guidelines or tweak the strategy a little bit to work, because bearish price action is actually a lot different than bullish price action sometimes. The little things like that, you're never going to learn that in a random famous YouTuber's workshop that is just the basics or the advanced stuff. Because usually the basics are like, here's how to enter a trade, here is how to set your stop loss. And the advanced stuff is like ridiculously overly complicated nonsense of terminology that they invented and stuff that is just meant to be confusing because they want to sound really smart. That's what I've found out, is a lot of like the quote unquote advanced stuff.
And just to be clear, this isn't like a one instantly, as soon as you join our Discord, you're gonna have these like these skills and hit it big. This takes years
Yeah.
of discipline.
In fact, I'm going to finish off our entire workshop by handing out, included in the workshop, I'm going to hand out multiple strategies that we have proven to be profitable, and give you the top-down strategy rules on if you master this strategy, you could be profitable. But by the time we get to that point, you have to have the psychological discipline in place to stick to it, and you have to have the technical knowledge to adapt it to your personal needs, and to, if the market changes in a year and things just, the price action just behaves a little bit differently, you have to be able to adapt that. So I'm actually saving the actual full-blown strategy rules, clear as day, here's the strategy. I'm saving that for last mostly. It's actually really simple stuff, and I have like one single screenshot could explain all of ICT, or the 2, 3, 4 other strategies that we use. It's all really simple stuff to explain, and the hardest part is mastering your own self and getting there. Right. And I heard this exact advice in different ways, but I've heard this advice before, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, tell me the strategy. And you know what? That's a recipe for disaster, because you have to have the understanding of how to test it, how to stick to it, and everything all along the way before you just get handed the strategy. Because if you get handed a strategy that is profitable, you will not know what you have unless you have the skills and discipline to test it and prove it to yourself. Because what'll happen is you'll take one trade, it'll win. You'll feel great. You'll take another trade, and that trade will lose, and you will immediately start changing your rules and making little tweaks to your strategy, being like, well, that didn't work, let me try something else. Suddenly it's 50 or 100 trades later, and you have changed what you do almost 50 times. When you get to that point, you have nothing. You have no real tangible results that you can step back and say, okay, this is working. I can continue trading with the hopes that it might be a profitable, life-changing career someday. Oppositely, if you get 100 trades in and you know for sure, I have a spreadsheet of every single trade. I know that 90% of these 100 trades followed my rules, and I have closely inspected the 10% of trades where I broke my rules and determined what I did wrong, or I have determined that overall the strategy is in fact profitable. If you get to that point after 100 trades, you're almost set for life. And I hope you all can see the massive difference in that behavior right there. So with that said, I want to either open it up to questions, and I also want to just look at the charts and go over everything that we do. I want to use our indicators and just get down to it and see what the market is doing right now.
Let's get into it.
So
let's do the charts first. Questions, I'll hit them. I'll throw them at you as they come up.
All right. I was glancing for questions, but I'll let you do that. People are just trash talking the current geopolitical situation in the chat. I love it. But yeah, so it is early December. It's been a crazy, I'm just going to start with a monthly chart. It's been a crazy month December is here. November was bonkers, obviously. So let's do it. Monthly chart. I'm going to hide my alerts here just so that I don't have to look at these lines. So monthly chart update, nothing to do. Nothing to do on the monthly chart. Weekly chart. What do we got? Let's see what my last update was. Bullish. Oh, hey, look at that. I was right. Oh, boy. We have a pullback candle, but that's not market structure. So we're just dragging this up. Nothing to do. Oh, yeah. See, I've got two different fibs here. Man, that is rough. So look at this, guys. We have no weekly market structure between 104,000. Oh man, look at that. I love it when Coinbase kisses a number perfectly.
Yeah.
104,000.00.
There was a major sell order right there.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've taught people is when you see that happen, that means that somebody had not just a sell order of a limit of if people are willing to pay 104K even, I will sell it to them for that price. What happens is that is a trigger order. And what it does is when that price gets hit 104 even, the order is filled at market price. And what that means is they start selling at 104K, but that slams price back down and it keeps on selling until it hits, 100K or whatever. So whoever is this giant whale, they have maybe $10 million worth of Bitcoin to sell, or just $1 million worth of Bitcoin to sell. Usually, I don't know what the market cap is, but for on the exchange, what the liquidity is, if you have like 3% of the liquidity on the exchange, you can move price all by yourself. Anyways, that's what that means, is that a whale had a gigantic, massive, maybe multi-million-dollar order just ready to go at 104, which means we're going to see some profit taking. And the charts are probably going to they're probably going to, waffle around for a while. But anyways, here's what I'm looking at on the weekly chart. We have no market structure between 104K and hold on to your socks, 52,500. So on the weekly chart, price could dip to $52,501 or whatever this number is, and we could still be bullish on the weekly market structure. That's terrifying, but if price gets down there, you better be packing your bags and like buying as much as you can on spot.
Yeah, it's also not unheard of. Yeah, I've seen price in different charts that have that same kind of retracement. That's just a natural ebb and flow of price action, just on a grand scale.
Yeah. So I'll update my weekly chart. I'll update my weekly chart and post it in the Discord. I do this every week where I go down the line from the weekly chart to like all the way down to the 15-minute chart. And I post weekly is bullish. Why? Because we're at all-time highs. We're already in premium. What to do? What do you do right here? Nothing. Either you take profits on your spot bags or you grab popcorn and watch the craziness.
Where do you post the charts weekly?
In the charts Discord, team charts.
Yeah, team charts. We renamed it recently, so I'm gonna
whatever it was called before we changed the name
in the Discord.
Okay,
there we go.
But so look at this. I called it when we were at 90K. I called it. Watch the levels of 77. We did not get down. That was where the retracement was at this time. Let's see. When we were here, That was where the retracement was, 73,000. We did not get down to equilibrium. Now equilibrium is 78,265. So especially if price gets all the way down to 78K, that's still very bullish. And you better believe that everybody will be absolutely terrified, but I will be looking for trades like a madman, longs.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So, and I called it on the watch the 102K to 104K because that was, I think I was doing a Fibonacci extension off of the whole range or something. But anyways, here we are, 104K. If you got long anywhere around here, I hope you're taking profits now. Let's go down to the daily chart. And daily, oh man, that was, look at that. That was a couple of weeks ago before Thanksgiving. 1 minute bullish, where task go long. Oh, hey, did anybody take my advice right there?
I know. You're still
Find a bullish MSS on the 1 hour.
You're still on the weekly.
Oh man. Oh yeah, let's switch to the daily chart. Let's see what we got. Oh man. Post in the chat if you saw me post this and you got a long right here, anywhere around here, or if you just like I did, I threw some money at it on spot and just said whatever, you know. So that was awesome. Lovely, lovely, beautiful call. But let's update it. Here's where the market structure is now. I see a pullback there. And here is my 1D. So we're going like that. And then we are... what to draw? This is ridiculous. I don't like it.
I don't like
That's
either.
nasty. It doesn't matter because we got a bullish BOS right there. And then this massive wick the other day. Oh, that is straight down. I'm going to have to pull up the 4-hour chart to define that market structure better. But here's what we got. There's the bullish, and then there is the low. So right now, here is where we are. I'm going to grab this and drag it up. Don't need it down there. Oh, man. Here is discount and premium. I'm just going to draw a bunch of lines here for these lows, just so I know for later. Yeah. That's probably 4-hour market structure. I'll leave it out. Okay. So we already zapped equilibrium. I'm going to the 4-hour chart, but I'm still looking at the daily because I need to drag this line over here like that. Okay, so there's my, this is the 1-day market structure, and I'm looking at it on the 4-hour chart. So here's the move. It got up to this high, and then it slammed back down, wicked way deep into discount, and just shot back up above equilibrium into premium. So what do you do right here? Well, on the 4-hour chart, we don't really have much of anything. We have a low here, and this is an SFP. Whoop. Let's see here. 4-hour SFP. And what an SFP means is it wicked below, but it closed above, or it wicked above, but it closed below. And generally, what this means is expect it to return all the way to the high, or at least above equilibrium, you can start, or above premium, you can start looking for a short. So this is where I go back to my other fib tools, and I'm going to drag this fib down. And I got my fibby here. This is the 786. This is the danger zone. There's the golden pocket. There's 50%. Here's the target, profit target, and that is the safe stop loss. And let's see, was there a trade going down? I usually skip. I usually do all of the time frames, 1 hour, blah, 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 but I'm going to skip to the 15-minute because That's a nice fractal for 4 hour. So here's the 4 hour move down, which means I get to draw market structure on the 15 minute as being from this. That's my 15 minute bullish BOS. So above this level, I could look for a short. I see a low there, but then this high gets put in, so there's no market structure beyond that. And then let's zoom in a little bit more. That is nasty, but it did kind of put in some market structure. But then this just barely got above, retraced, and then just flew up. So we got double market structure right here. That's going to draw liquidity down. Did we get a short up here? Not really. This one candle retraced more than 2 candles, engulfed them. So I'm going to call that market structure right there. And then here's the high. And then this kind of messed around, but it doesn't really look like it's given me much in the way of a retracement yet. So we're on the 15 minute. But even if this, because this broke and just slammed down so hard, I can't look for a short on a smaller time frame than the 15 minute until it gets back up here above 50%. But then if price gets up here, let's see, where's my path tool? If price gets up here above 50%, and then it goes around and does whatever, if I see on the 1 minute or the 3 minute or whatever what I want to see, and it breaks like that, as soon as it breaks below that level, all that 1 minute market structure, then here's what I do. Same thing. Draw the fib, do that line, and then only after you have aligned the 4 hour, the 15 minute, and the 1 minute, then you can, quote unquote, recklessly enter a trade like that. Stop loss above whatever high gets put in and target the low that you started at. And if you go to right about the golden pocket, let's zoom in here. Put that stop loss above that high, right around the golden pocket, target the low. You get usually, well, you can go deeper. I usually put it right around a 2.0 risk reward ratio. Depending on market structure, you know, sometimes there's a fair value gap or something around there. But that's the trade. And this is all just theoretical. But there we are. Anything in the chat? Any questions on the
Nothing yet.
in the Discord? We'll see if this plays out. We've got 20 minutes. I'll probably hang out for 30, 40 minutes in the private Discord after we end the stream. So if you haven't already, please join and get on in there. But yeah, here we are. Oh, I do like this. I wasn't thinking about this earlier, but there is some confluence to this fair value gap right here. That is nice. Oh man, if this plays out at like I will not be surprised. But that's a few hours into the future. We're looking at 5 hours. Yeah, I'm not going to be up at 1 a.m. on a Friday night. I'm an old man or a middle-aged man. I'm going to bed. But you know what happened? We have screenshots of this, but I called the crash like down to the exact level back when there was that scary crash to like 50 something K. I had drawn one of these zigzags and I had given it like a month to play out. and it played out in like 4 hours or 1 day or something. And it played out almost exactly as I had drawn it. And I was like, well, I wasn't right. I was totally wrong about the timing, but I was exactly right about the price levels that were going to get hit. And getting in the habit of doing this gives you the ability to mentally prepare for what to do. And then you either see what you want to see and you take the trade, or if price just goes like this off the chart, then then you're like, okay, well, I rethink my plan, reformulate a plan, and come up with something else. Getting in the habit of doing this will save you from tons of losing trades, because you will wire your brain to always be like, okay, I need a plan. If I don't have a plan, I don't have a trade. So that'll help you resist the temptation to be like, oh my gosh, price is mooning, I gotta go long. Well, you see this, and then you go long right here, and then price just goes like that, and you get stopped out. And so you go short, and then you get stopped out again. But if price does something ridiculous and you don't see what you were expecting to see, you should feel not rage or frustration at missing out. You should just feel a calm sense of, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what I missed. And you go back to the drawing board. You say, okay, something is happening right now that I did not expect. What do? I wait until a high or a low gets hit. So here's what I'm going to do now. I had my alerts on for Bitcoin and I turned them off. So now I'm going to go back down here, BTC up, BTC down. And here we are at these levels. They were already in place pretty much. I am going to watch these levels. I want to know if Bitcoin gets below this low, because that breaks market structure in this direction. And I want to know if Bitcoin gets up to, let's say, this level right here. I'm going to start watching. Well, I'll alert at the 50%, just so I can start looking for a trade. That's it. We have some bullish market structure.
When I go to sleep, I always try to like give some sort of bit of wisdom. And one of them is to set your alarms. And that is exactly why. When you're trading, doing it impulsively can get dangerous. So if you actually have POIs and you set alarms, you don't have to sit there looking at the charts the whole night, the whole day. When you get that alert on your phone or on your computer, you're like, oh shit! So this is a level I was looking for. I'm gonna jump on the charts now on this chart and see what's up.
Yeah, and this is how I'm going to approach trading basics, from the standpoint of, it has to be fun, otherwise you're gonna get impulsive and jumpy and do something terrible. So we're going to make it fun by playing a game of, whenever you first look at the charts for the day or the week or the hour or whatever, you are not allowed to just impulsively jump into a trade right away. You are going to wire your brain to always set 2 alerts, high and low, and just guess at which alert is going to get triggered first. So right now I'm sitting here, I've got a trigger at this high, or to break this high to get into premium, to get above equilibrium, so I can look for a short here. And then I have an alert down here at this low. And what do you think is going to happen first? I think it's closer to this one. It's probably going to get here first, but I might be wrong. Price could, right here, price just slammed down. Right here, price just absolutely ripped straight up. I might be wrong, but I want to get in the habit of creating that, gamifying the whole thing of making it entertaining and fun, so that it isn't just frustrating and rage-inducing that you open the charts and you see price absolutely mooning or crashing, and you do not want to feel fear or greed when you see that. So that's it. I can also check. I should have brought this up sooner. I can also check our indicators. Here's the par and here's the squeeze smasher filter. And let's hide all of the drawings that we've got. I'm going to put this in one big thing. All that, what is today? 12.06. I'm going to hide all of that. So, oh, I got to double check where I am. Where's my premium? 1 day chart. Daily chart ripped up. Strong bullish, but internal. What's the 4-hour chart? Oh, did I even pull up the 4-hour market structure? Oh, let's see what my forecast about 4-hour market structure was. Bullish, externally bullish. Why? Did SFP that low? Let's go back here. I just want to see what I did and double check it, because this was right before Thanksgiving, and I just did this analysis and then I went on vacation. Okay.
That's another point that I want to point out to everybody is don't be afraid to go touch grass. If you're staring at charts all day, it can really wear you down. It's just like a social battery.
A paragraph. That is a paragraph or a few minutes in my workshop course already. Is I want you all to treat trading as if it is a job you hate. And what do you do with a job you hate? You look for reasons to ditch work.
Yeah.
You look for reasons to take it. You can't wait to take a vacation. And that's why I think a lot of traders get burned out or just lose money is they feel compelled to take a trade all the time. They need that dopamine hit of a piece of the action being in the market. And that is probably why most traders fail. We know that most traders fail. I'm saying this is probably why that is true, is because you feel compelled to be in the market. My approach is the opposite. I am looking for any excuse to not trade, not because I'm afraid of taking risk. I know that my strategy works, and I will gladly take carefully calculated risk when I see the opportunity. But I'm definitely working to live, not living to work, you know? So take a vacation. Anyways, here we are in mid-November, and here's the 4-hour range, and price went up, and then it, let's just call that, that's 4-hour. So price went up. There's a little bit of market structure there. There's a little bit of market structure there. It came up. It barely wicked that high. Got tossed back down, getting just more and more internal, tighter constriction. I should probably pull up the squeeze. I think there was a squeeze right around here. Then it goes up there. And so that's where I did the TA. Yeah, see, there's a bit of a squeeze right there. I got a bullish divergence, a bearish divergence. So right around there, you've got, what do we have on the par? I maximize this, and then I draw the line across. So here is the 4-hour par. It's making barely making a higher low. It's making a much higher low here to here. So I'd call that not a proper divergence, but like a C- or a D+ divergence bullish. Bit of a signal there. And so what did I put on the charts? Bullish, bullish. Why? It SFP'd that low. So it wicked below this low, and then it shot back up to this high. It hit that high. It got to this high. and then it closed back down below. So what do? We look for a trade in discount. I'll draw the fib right now, and then we'll zoom in pretending that this is our market structure. What do? Task, either wait or find a long opportunity on the 15-minute. So we're going to go right there. I'm going to highlight this whole thing so that we can find it. There's my candles right there, starting right there. And let's go down to the 15-minute chart. That is rough. Look at that. You can always tell that the big players are just brutally stealing everybody's money when you see this chop just going absolutely destroying everybody's stop losses. And then obviously after then, it's just the rest is history. It mooned. But here we are looking for a long. We're looking for a long in discount. So below this level right here, here's our range. Between there and there, there's the danger zone, you remember. Got that on my, if I hit the Fibby preset, it gives me the danger zone. Here's where I'm looking for a long. Well, funny how this happens. There's your 15-minute market structure. Then it gets below that low. Nice fair value gap right there. Fair value gap gets absolutely obliterated. And then what do you have? You've got a ridiculously quick zap right back down to the golden pocket, and then it shoots up to this high here. So if you were confident enough to just jump into a trade right at the golden pocket, you would have put your stop loss below that low, and you would have targeted not only this high, but you would have let your runner, so at least half of your trade would have gotten to this high. That's a nice 3.5 risk reward. But then after that trade plays out, let me hide this stuff. After that trade plays out, I'll throw this down here for a second. You get another trade because you get this whole range here, and it gives you a whole nother opportunity. As soon as you see it respecting this level got put in right here, and you can see this is an important level. I'm not even looking at price, but now that I look at it, it's 90,500 even, more or less. So we got an important level here. So you got another opportunity to get in right there, and you would put your stop loss down below this low, and you would target this high. And then if you missed that trade, you got another chance right here to get in again. Maybe even putting your stop loss below that low if you're brave. And again, target that high. And bam, there you go, 2.3 risk reward. And that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to, oh man, look at that. It was drawn market structure. Way back when? December. Wow, a year ago. Oh, look at this old market structure. Wow. Oh, for 38K. Oh, look at that. Anybody been holding from here? Man, good times.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be one of those things where if we get a big market retracement, I'm gonna be sounding the alarms. Everybody, spot bag time.
Yeah, that's another thing that I want to go over with everybody, and I'm gonna talk about this every single week. Is your first priority in being at all interested in crypto or trading in general, your first priority should be gradually DCA either in or out into the big coins. Every single time you see, you know, on the first of the month or the first of the week, you should be looking at the naked chart and saying, okay, what happened? Massive green candle, or in my case, massive white candle, I sell a little bit. Massive red candle or gray candle, I buy a little bit. If you don't have $10 or $100 laying around after each paycheck to just buy it and potentially be prepared to forget about it for a year or 5 years, then you have no business really throwing that much money at scalping, day trading, let alone using leverage. Because what we're doing on these smaller charts, degenerate trading, we are taking risk. We're taking serious risk. And we should not be doing that unless we are also creating a safety net of financial safety by dollar cost averaging into or out of something much more stable, such as just $10 a month or $100 a month at Bitcoin, throwing it in or pulling it out.
Yeah. I got a request that we do a spot episode soon. Now it's not really a
Trading.
yeah for spot trading. A lot of the tools that we teach when it comes down to this technical analysis is very applicable to spot. So the language is the same. Doesn't matter if you're doing spot or leverage. So developing the tools, I think, will help in learning how to read spot levels, and then desaying into a bag. Not financial advice. This is merely for educational purposes only. But yeah, the education that you get from reading the charts, it translates well.
Yeah. This is what I like to practice. And you saw how fast I went just to draw market structure. I don't even trade purely based on ICT very much, but I just enjoy, I don't know if it's autism or ADHD or whatever, I just enjoy doing this TA more than I enjoy. This is entertainment to me. This is fun. And I have to have fun. Otherwise, I do dumb stuff and enter reckless trades and get really ragey, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a fun, entertaining thing to do.
Yeah. And it's also one of those things, too. It's like once you develop these skills and you're able to do it, spot bags, the easy part, that's entry-level trading. And then going into like leverage trading, that's getting more, intermediate to advanced, in my opinion. Spot bags, I love the spot bag culture that crypto has fostered. Back in the day, not too long ago, yesteryear, I would collect coins and stuff, and it's more of a hobby than anything. But damn well that a lot of these currencies and a lot of these coins are going to gain value over time, even if it's just their basic intrinsic metals, what they're made out of.
Yeah.
So,
and you've heard those types of stories a million times of like the eccentric old guy who collected this or that thing, and then he passes away and his grandkids or his kids find out like, oh, he had this one thing that's worth $10 million or $1 million or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Oh, well, we were making fun of him the whole time. Grandpa had, had our financial futures. He might not have even known it himself, but there it is.
He just stayed in his trailer and smoked cigarettes all day. Who knew that he was sitting on this massive wealth?
Yeah, and that's what I heard a story of from a friend who, some guy was down on his luck, and so a friend gave him a USB drive with a bunch of Bitcoin on it. He probably did it back in 2012 or 2011 or whatever, when Bitcoin was like a few cents. And he gave him a USB drive full of Bitcoin. And then a few years, a few years ago, the guy calls him up and says, "Congratulations, you're a millionaire." And the guy actually had like terminal cancer or something, and
Oh,
so
no.
he really needed the money, and his, he passed away, but like he left a legacy to his kids or his family, and just because he had this thing.
Can we
So
do next Friday with that request from Raz? Can we do a spot trade using the indicators episode of just like
yeah,
looking at spot coins and things like that, using the indicators, and like we'll kind of hunt this next week for coins to be on the radar for spot. Can we
yeah,
can you allocate that episode of next Friday to that?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh
Cool.
man, look at this look at this squeeze that went on for so many bars and then just ripped.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Man.
like Bitcoin is probably like I personally would hold on to for spot like that. This not right now, but Bitcoin is first in, best dressed when it comes down to cryptocurrencies. I don't think it's going to be losing its seat. It's not going to be dethroned anytime soon. You know,
Yeah.
even if institutional powers back XRP or Link to the point where it's like the industry standard, I don't think that that's going to usurp Bitcoin anytime soon. So
Yeah.
if you're talking about spot bags, diversifying your portfolio into different spot bags, but always keep the biggest cap, the largest cap in that portfolio. In my that's what I would do.
Yeah. Let's see that. No, I gotta drag this over. I'm updating my 4-hour market structure here.
Yeah.
We've got
Is there anything else you
that
want to add,
broke
or should we call it
nine.
here? And
No,
then
that's mainly it. I just want to encourage everybody to participate and ask questions, because I think that that's the best way to actually create your own path that secures your future.
mm-hmm.
I think we all can have, I think we all have stories of that thing we tried, whether it was you paid for a workshop or you took a course or whatever, and you don't even know if it could have worked because you never followed through all the way. Or you paid for it and you realized quickly, like, this is worthless trash. I just wasted my money, and I get nothing back out of it because there's no community or people to even talk to say, hey, either this is trash and I want my money back, or like, hey, I'm really struggling to understand all of this stuff that I just paid for. Can you help me? And that's why I'm in this particular Discord doing this job, is because I like the team that we have, and everybody here that is on the team is active almost every single day, answering questions, explaining the lucrative details of what they are doing for themselves, and helping people understand it to fine tune it for themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, and then it's like the decentralized network of having multiple different people looking at multiple different coins, and then being able to spot things in positions, uh, you know, together. When we bring that information together, that gives us a greater chance of success. So, um, trading in a community, I always think is better to bounce ideas off of. That is some of the best traders that I've seen. Um, they recommend that, like, by far. It is great to do that. Copying somebody's trade, not advisable. You know what I mean? You gotta do the
Yeah.
TA yourself. You gotta do the legwork. and then get into it, or go through it with somebody who knows what they're doing, so that you can have a better understanding of why this is a good position to enter, and then so on and so forth. Yeah, let's seriously do a spot week this week, since if Bitcoin stays here for a while, and it's probably going to be ranging between the, what is it,
Yeah.
52k to 108k
104.
range. Yeah, so there's going to be ample opportunity for spot bags to be filling up, and then alt season shortly after.
Yeah, here's the overview of what we're probably going to see in the next week or month. It's the holidays, so there's going to be a lot of craziness because all of the people who made $1 million, they are out of here. They're on vacation. And what you're left with is traders who are, in fact, degenerate gamblers.
Yeah.
And that's just risky business in general. But we can at least use it to learn and say, hey, if I throw 20 bucks at this coin and it just goes to zero, well, I'm learning how to do this. So that's what you can prepare for over the next month, or at least over the next couple of weeks. But we are going to see altcoins as long as Bitcoin, well, now even this level of 92,055, as long as Bitcoin holds above this level, the altcoins are going to go nuts. Because as we look at my spaghetti chart, should I show the world my spaghetti chart?
Yeah, you might as well. While he's pulling that up, I want to mention this too. Holidays, and towards the end of the year, a lot of institutional traders are going to de-risk and de-leverage and take profits. So I really think, I think historically, like, there's a lot of selling off that happens, especially before the holidays. So I would expect in the near future, some red weeks. Which is a good spot buy opportunities. This is the spaghetti chart of great great reverence. Was it making your computer cry?
Yeah. It'll make my fan get really okay. There's the high. Okay.
All right, you should send
fan go max.
Raz. You should definitely check out the spaghetti chart, because this can actually help you identify coins that may pop.
Yeah. So here's the crash when after BTC went over 100K. And then it crashed down to 92-ish or whatever it was. This is it.
Roz, okay.
So, let's see.
I got you, brother. Sorry for mispronouncing it. I knew somebody named Raz. That's why I kept going there.
Ooh, look at one. Man. When you see the turds floating to the top, that's not a good sign.
Oh, DDIC?
I mean, you can trade it.
Wow.
Yeah. When you see this, that's not a good sign. Because these are just manipulated coins where people with massive bags or tons of capital are taking opportunity of the potential for alt season to force an alt season pump of these random old junk coins that have been dead forever. So we got here at the top, Harmony 1, I think that is. Let's see.
One coin to everybody to keep an eye on is Hype. So just throw that out there. I'm not gonna tell you why on stream, but just keep.
Oh, look at how dead this coin has been. Okay, so here, I remember this coin won because I got into crypto right here when this was mooning. Okay, this is right here is where I got interested in crypto, and then this coin nuked all the way up. It went from this low to this high, it went up 700%. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, I think I probably traded it on spot a little bit here, and I probably made some money. And then this coin absolutely died. From July of 2022, it tried to pump. Look at this. This is a perfect example of a dead old piece of trash coin that someone with a massive bag is hoping to unload. You got somebody, I guarantee you, somebody within this price action here, above this level, there is probably some people who were dumb enough, including myself, probably, to throw in a lot of money. I didn't have $1 million to throw at this, but I guarantee you there's at least one person with over $1 million, or, you know, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars that they bought up here and they're still holding on to it. So they are trying to pump the price so that they can dump this worthless old dead coin. I might be totally wrong, and this might be the future. Like, this coin might be the bee's knees, and it's gonna just absolutely nuke and go to the moon and be $10. But this chart is an example of what I was saying. This is trash that is, somebody's just looking for exit liquidity.
That's exactly it. This is literally a pump and dump scheme.
So yeah, this is a pump and dump scheme. And here is what you do to take advantage of that. I'm going to pull up, I'm going to kill my par, and I'm going to pull up. Astro Toad 1.4. Oh yeah,
we got to get 1.4 live on at some point.
Yeah, so here's the smasher. Pulling this up. The crazy thing is that it did not give a weekly squeeze alert. I need to check the settings for this and look at it. But you can see it gave this tight squeeze on the weekly chart, which it did back here as well. So if you saw this, and it's got that perfect fire hose shape. You know, you've got this going down, and then you've got this squeeze level coming up. If you get in, if you see that and you get in, then you are, see, you see it squeezing right there. You see it nuke. Let's say you get in at the close of that candle and put your stop loss below that low. You got a nice 200% on spot, no leverage. Mind you, this is a perfect example of a spot trade, but you're looking at a dang weekly chart in order to get this. And then again here, when this squeezes and you can see it tightening, you got this nice strong pump candle here in the middle of the squeeze. You could either get in at the close of that candle, or you could get in on a retrace, say Astro, the 50% of that candle.
Do you want to explain to Roz why you came up with these indicators, and maybe just a little bit about the smasher and squisher combined? Because I don't think Roz has known. I'm not sure if he uses our indicators yet, so this might be a good learning opportunity.
Okay, cool. Yeah, hey Ross. I started off trading spot only, and I did that for like 2 years or more, maybe, I don't know. Where all you could do is buy and sell the actual coin itself, in no leverage, no going short. And what I learned was you have to find the big moves in order to really turn a profit. It's nice and safe because you'll never get liquidated. And, you know, worst case scenario, you lose 30% of a position. So if you throw $20 at a coin, or if you throw, you know, $21 at a coin, worst case scenario, you walk away with $14. That's not that bad. But you have to find the big moves. And everything I've researched, I've studied basically every single strategy in existence that is worthwhile today, from the old school stuff like Elliott wave theory and some of the other like really old traders from like 100 years ago. And I've studied some of the newer stuff that got hyped up, you know, ICT and a lot of the new gurus these days. I studied it all, and here's what I found. This is the squeeze indicator or setup. And what it is I'm going to delete this. And I'm also even I'm going to hide the chart itself.
Jesus, dude.
And I'm going to hide everything else here. Let's see, don't need these AMAs. Don't want my EMAs. Oh, that's the, so here's what's happening. Price is constricting in this area here. This whole area, price is just not doing much. It's dead. And so usually that means that a big move is possibly being prepared for. And so when you see price action doing nothing, what you're looking at is, actually, let me pull up. Let's see. What you're looking for is periods of low volatility when everybody is asleep and not paying attention, because that is when the big money is preparing to take everybody else's money. So what we're looking for is, this is a standard indicator. Actually, I wonder if that's fine. The average true range is just a measure of the volatility of a coin. So when ATR is at the bottom and dead, so to speak, that means that there is just very low volatility. And look at the chart. What do we have? We have the absolutely bonkers best times to buy. Okay. And I don't know, like, it's a whole, like, we could talk about the psychology of why this works. We could spend hours talking about it. But for whatever reason, when everybody's bored and giving up and walking away or just not looking at the charts, that is when it is a good time to get in. And here's why it's actually really important on spot. This is very specific to spot trading, because this doesn't work as well for shorting. See how this guy is way up here at the top, but you're still down at the bottom. So this is not necessarily a great short signal. ATR, average true range, is really a spot. Well, now you can see it went way up there, and that was a decent time to go short. But then here, you got this massive price action that's making a higher high, and ATR is doing absolutely nothing. It's just blah, 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 blah. Like, this is worthless. Okay. But this is time to get in, time to pack your bags. Whenever ATR is down at the bottom, this is when you pick a number, you say 10.0 or whatever, and you just, every week or every month that ATR is below one of these levels, you throw $10 at it, or you throw $50 at it. You take your paycheck and you just go, all right, I'm spending money on this. So if you did that and you picked this line and said, okay, anytime ATR is below 9, I'm going in. So there you go. What is it right there? 8.5. Yeah, let's pick 9. Horizontal line. So you are DCAing in at all these points. You're buying a ton right here. You're buying a little bit right here. You get to brag about saying, hey, I bought the bottom-ish of the market. And you didn't buy a whole entire giant bag, but at least you bought a tiny bit. And on spot, if you walk away from that for a few years, you're making 400%. So let's say 1, 2, we're on the monthly chart. I'm gonna go back here and say 1, 2, 3, 1, maybe 1. So 4, 5 times. If you're just looking at the chart once a month, there are 4 or 5 opportunities to throw $100 at it. You got $500 in, you are up 500%. What's the math on that? It's Friday night. I'm not doing math for you.
Thousands.
But so that is the simplicity of spot trading. And we can do this same thing on the, the 1 day, the 4 hour.
Just to summarize
that's it right
this,
there.
the reason why I think what he was trying to say as far as the indicators, he saw a pattern in spot bags, and so he developed this indicator to essentially give warnings on when is the optimal time to buy into a spot bag to launch. Is I think what you told me is as far as the development.
Yeah. So what we have is ATR is part of what is going into these calculations. And you see these orange blobs here. This is not only is it is ATR low, but also the standard deviation is tight as well. Okay. So that's a lot of nerdy stuff. But all you need to know is when the squeeze is going because price is constricting. Well, you see it just pumped right here. ATR is still crazy high, but it's getting low down here. And so this might be an opportunity to go long. It didn't work that time, but you go long here and you are, if you take one of these orange blobs, as it's above all these moving averages, you are up 50% on Bitcoin. You don't even need to trade crummy junk altcoins to get 50% on a trade just looking at a couple of basic indicators. Well, the market smasher is the opposite of basic, but you can strip it down to just be these orange blobs that say, hey. And then what we do is we look for the fire hose. You can go all the way down to the 1 hour, and I really like that. And what we did instead of this simple ATR was we created the smasher filter, and that throws these gray shadings when it says, hey, you've got a really nice constriction of this orange cloud. And in this situation, it's an opportunity to short, which you can't do on spot, but it is a signal to sell because price is going to go down. And then here's where we get the really good one. This one was just absolutely juicy. It's constricting. We called it the fire hose nozzle. Mickey named it, where you see this, not only is ATR very low, which is in this case the orange dots, but it's getting tighter and smaller and smaller. And then right here, when this gray shading hits, that is when you start going, okay, I need to get into the trade and I need to go big. And going big is the safest thing to do is on spot because you can't get liquidated. But this, when you see that gray shading, that's when you know it's time to get in and it's time to pack the bags. And so what I do for stuff like this is I go, okay, where did this orange blob start? Here's the low and here's the high. And it tapped there a little bit once. I was using Heiken-Nashi candles to make it look smoother, but I don't always do it that way.
I was asking if the ATR works on alts as well as, or just BTC.
Yes, average true range is usually going to have great data on most exchanges and most coins. It's not going to work on the really obscure coins that that just don't have much trading volume. But then again, you don't want to be trading those anyways. Or if you like gambling, you call it gambling, and that's how you trade those. But anyways, ATR is going to work on pretty much everything. You're looking, that red line indicator, that's a standard indicator. And you're just looking for that line to be low. And that's a good signal to pull up these indicators and start looking for this type of setup. And this works on altcoins. We had one the other day. What was it? Was it Bitcoin? No, it was one of the altcoins that mooned. I think I got it blew past my record of a 1-to-40 risk-reward ratio.
Oh, wow.
Forget what it was. I think it was a 1-to-100 risk-reward ratio.
So yeah,
I'll search the Discord.
Ross, everybody that's in our Discord, as soon as you onboard, you all have access to these indicators. It comes with the membership, so just let me know if anybody's having issues with them or if you can't get access to them, and then I can walk you through the process and or make sure that it's good on our end.
But yeah, this was a nice big move. And so here's the thing, when you see this indicator start firing the gray background, then, especially if you're trading on spot and you can't get liquidated, this is when you should be in the trade with like a staggering 10-20% of your whole portfolio. Because that's what spot is for.
Not financial
you
advice.
Should be. This is, yeah.
Educational.
That's what spot trading is for. This is not retirement savings. This is not financial advice. This is trading for fun and craziness, in my opinion. But this is when you know that a big move is far more likely to happen. And my go-to is a 4.0 risk-reward ratio. So if my stop loss, say I use whatever dollars of a position size I need, such that this is only a 0.5% stop loss if I'm entering at this 786 or what is it? Fib. Yeah, 786. There's the 618. You can enter at the 618 as well. That's the golden pocket. But my go-to is a 2.0 risk-reward ratio. So on spot, you're going to do the math to say, okay, I've got let's call it 1%. What if I want 1% of my position to be my risk and I want to risk $10? $10 is 1% of what? Well, you're going to need a big one. Let's say you want to risk $1. Well, you're buying a $10 position. No, that's 10%. You're buying a $100 position. You could throw $100 at this coin right here and only be actually risking $1 if you exit right there. Okay. But you are targeting a move. I've gone over this before in the Discord. You're targeting a move of at least 4 for the final profit. And then you can also, if it's just going nuts, you can let it run. And in this case, we are up a massive amount, but my fibs usually end right around here at 10.0. So for risking $1 on spot, I made $10 on spot. No leverage, no needing to short just going long on spot. Cost $100 to have that position, but with altcoins, that is how you change this in, and your stop loss is 10% or 20% of a move, and then you're getting a lot smaller positions to take the same dollar size of risk.
All right,
Wow.
let's
Well then.
let's call the live stream here and just take it to after server side only. So thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much, Astronaut Toad. I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, I wish I could have found a live trade for the public audience while we're streaming.
Yeah.
I'll keep looking for a trade with the private group. Doesn't look like it's going to do much tonight. It's Friday night. I'm actually surprised that I've ever found winning trades live on a Friday night before, but I've done it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll hang out for a little while and see what we can do.
I think I may have lost the tutorial videos in the not labeling them correctly. So we may need to do tutorial videos on each indicator that you've created, and then I'll do one with Kermit, and then maybe we could do that like ancillary, like
yeah.
And we'll do it extra where it's just like me and you or something. Just that way I can just bust it out.
Yeah. Cool. Every time I explain the process, it gets better explained.
Yeah.
So I totally don't mind going over it again and again. And I always want to encourage everybody in the Discord, or if you're just joining the Discord, at me in the Discord and say, hey, can you explain this one little thing? Because I love nothing more than to see a person who did their homework and has a very nerdy, specific question, as opposed to the person who, I totally understand if this happens from time to time, but you get questions of like, I don't understand this, teach me how to do this, and I don't know where to start. So what I tell people is throw the indicators up, play around a little bit, and then just write down specific questions of like, what the heck is this line? What the heck is that line? What is this? Draw it out and be like, is this a good trade idea? Then we really get into the quick, rapid fire learning of here's what you did wrong, here's what you did right. Bam, this is a perfect trade. And you can very quickly be flawlessly executing trades. Notice I didn't say very quickly a millionaire, but if you are very rapidly, flawlessly executing trades, then you will very rapidly know this strategy works, I can keep going, or you'll know this isn't working, I need to try something else that works for me. So that's it. That's what we're all about.
All right, everybody. Yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on Monday for KerMixAlot stream. Thank you. Go to www.cartoonmoneyprinters.com. If you sign up for a year, you get 455 days for a year subscription with a renewal. So that's a 59 cents a day subscription, as well as I'll send you a mug, the 15-ounce coffee mug, so you can get properly caffeinated when you're looking at charts. So yeah, please go to the website, check it out. You can try us out for a free month.